Excellent stuff. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate. It's one of those weird things that I just have like an intuition sometimes. I'm not saying it's psychic ability or something, but sometimes I can take a shuffled deck and I'll go through and I'll just get some vibes about what's going to happen. I'm hoping it happens now because I've kind of built it up. So we're going to go through and kind of feeling this one a little bit. And maybe this one. That's 2. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's about it. Just 3 this time. Would you come up and help me out? Sorry, that's perfect. What I'd like you to do is to just cut the deck into 2 piles for me. Anywhere you like, that's brilliant. So, just to recap, you shuffled up the deck. I did turn around 3 cards, but I didn't change the order of anything at all. And it's important that we realise that I did that before you cut to a card, okay? Because those are going to be my sort of predictions. So, if I take that off, I want you to have a look at the cards you cut to. And then you can actually just leave it down on there. And then you can, oh yeah. And you can sit down again if you like. You've got the easy job. Oh. Thanks, man. Awesome. So the idea is I'm going to try and work out what your card is. And I will do that with the 3 predictions that I reversed in here earlier. So I've got the 5 of hearts. I've got the 9 of clubs and the Queen of hearts as well. So this card will be the same colour as your card. On the back. The back will be the same colour. Is that right? Yes. Yeah. Well, you say that, but all of them are printed differently. You know, they're mass produced, but there are tiny variations, and your card will have exactly this back design. This card is the exact thickness of your card. Again, it can vary, but your one will be exactly that thick. And this card will weigh the same. They all weigh different, obviously, because you have different amount of ink and different colour ink has different ingredients, so it'll all be different. So I'm looking for a card that has that back colour, is exactly that thick and weighs about that much. That's probably the 8 of diamonds, I think. Is that right? Yes, there we go. That's a pretty good trick. Hold your applause, the finish is very weak. That is a pretty good trick, but this was very nearly an awesome trick. It was very, very close to being awesome. I was 9 cards away here, so we'll spell 9, N-I-N-E. And I had Queen cards away here, so we go Q-U-E-E-N. And I was 5 cards away here, F-I-V-E, like that. And if I'd been that little bit closer, then the trick wouldn't have been good. It would have been awesome. I give you all 4 8s. Thank you very much indeed. So what happens typically now is that people see me do a card trick like that and they say, oh, I wouldn't like to play cards with you. And I don't know if that's like a testament to my skill with cards or a detriment to my personality. I've not worked out. But I don't actually play cards in any sort of significant way, but you can, when you're doing card tricks, you do pick up how people might cheat. And we're going to do that with you guys. I'll show you how you can do it. Do you guys want to come up again? Sorry. You're getting good cardio at least. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to give you the deck like that. I'd like you to just deal cards face down, one at a time, into a pile. That's it. Perfect. Deal a reasonable number and then stop any time you like.
Stop there.
Excellent. And then I give the cards to you and you get to do the exact same thing. Just deal cards down one at a time and stop after a reasonable number. The planets will align and the cosmos will fill you with a desire to stop, or you'll get bored after about 3. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now look at the cards that you stopped on, but I don't want to see them, so I'm going to look away, but just look at the top cards of the packets, remember them, and then pop them back. Brilliant stuff. Yours goes back in there, yours goes back in there. So now we're going to try to work out what they are through 2 different ways. So I'm going to, that's fine, that's a deserter, don't worry about that one. We'll give the cards a shuffle up like this. And what we'll do, we'll start off with your card. Okay. I'm going to deal cards face up like this, and I'm going to deal a little row of these out. I want you to look down at the cards, and then look up at me. Yeah, you don't see your card there. Okay, that's cool. Let's try it again. We'll deal another little row like this. I want you to look down at those and up at me. You do see your card there. Look down again and up at me. The King of Hearts.
It certainly
is. It was, yes. Excellent. Oh, I didn't think that was going to work. That's splendid. All right, we're going to do the same for you, but I'm not even going to look at the cards. We're going to try and do it through your voice rather than your facial expression. Okay. So if I look away, I want you to call out the names of these cards for me.
10 of diamonds. 10 of clubs, 5 of hearts, 2 of spades, jack of clubs, 7 of spades, 8 of hearts, 5 of spades, king of diamonds, 5 of diamonds.
You've gone past it, haven't you?
We have.
You have. Read out the last couple.
8 of hearts, 5 of spades.
5 of spades.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Thank you very much indeed. So that's 2. So you can do it by sight, or you can do it by sound, but we'll try now to sort of combine the two, because obviously I don't know much about playing poker or cards, but you might not get an opportunity where people are going to be repeatedly looking or calling out the names of their cards. I think that's probably detrimental in some way. So we're going to try and combine the two. So I'm just going to make a pile of cards here. You can stop me anytime you want. Don't pick that one. There we go.
Stop.
All right, so do you want this card or this card?
No, I'll stick with
Yeah, then take a look at that. I won't look. We'll turn away here.
Yeah.
And then place it back when you're done. Excellent stuff, and we'll bury it in there. So now we're going to square all the cards up. And this time, I'm not going to have you look at the cards. I'm not going to have you call them out or anything like that. I just want you to think of it in a way that you might think about a poker hand. That card would be handy. So just think about it. And yeah, people do want me cheating at cards because he's got the Queen of Spades. All right? Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much for helping. Cheers, guys. Thank you. That's awesome. So the next question I get when I perform tricks like this is people say, yeah, but how does it work? And people always want to know how it works. And I have I can't really explain it. It's just like an intuition thing. But I think it comes down to what I would call the other 90% of your brain. If you ever read the thing online that says you only use 10% of your brain and no one really knows what the other 90% does. In my case, it's probably even lower. But it seems to make sense because, you know, sometimes people get hypnotized and then they can remember incredible detail about events that have gone on and all this kind of stuff. And an incredible amount of detail. I'm going to have you guys up again. Sorry. You do. The cardio is great. The cardio is great. So what we're going to do is try something like that. So I'd like you to shuffle those for me. Yep. And then we're going to spread them out and we're going to look at them for a second and let our brain, our brains, not our collective brain, our individual brains absorb the information. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, as there's 2 of you, do you want to cut some cards and turn them over for me? That's it. Brilliant. Yeah, it's great. And do you want to cut more? Cut deep down into the pack. As there's 2 of us, we might as well both cut. Splendid stuff. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go through the cards and we're going to take out this first unknown card. And I'm going to try and use the rest of the deck to work out what that is using the other 90% of my brain. And the basic gist is, I mean, if I had a good memory, you could think it was memorization, that I would remember the deck in the order that we shuffled it in, and then I was going to go through and tell you which one was missing. Unfortunately for me, anyone who knows me knows that my memory is not up to such shenanigans. So what I'm doing is going through them. So we've got ace, queen, queen, 4 ace. And I don't need to memorize anything. I'm just going to rely on my intuition to kind of tell me what card was missing. Like, you know, I'll look through these, I'll make sure I see each one, and then one card will kind of just let it come. I think it's the 9 of clubs. Don't think we saw a 9 of clubs. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? It's really, really weird. Thank you very much. So, I tell you what, we'll take another one here because, you know, I've practiced that, so I'm quite good at determining the suit and the value and things, but you guys saw the same deck that I saw, and you will have retained information about that as well. We're not going to worry about the suits or necessarily the numbers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make, I'm going to turn 2 cards around in the center of the deck. We'll come back to those in a moment. I'm going to give the cards to you, keep them face down. And what I'd like you to do is to just think about take the top card of the deck off, think about whether it might be black or red. If you think it's black, deal it face down on here. If you think it's red, deal it here. Perfect. And I want you to keep going. Try not to spend time on it. Try and just let your subconscious mind to take over and deal through until you come to the reversed cards in the middle. So this is to test your sort of intuition. Have you ever had that thing where the telephone, you think of an old friend you haven't spoken to for ages, then the phone rings and you know that it's going to be your friend, and it is, and it's not caller ID or anything, it's just some weird the other 90% of your brain having something to do. Excellent. You can stop there. That's great.
Yes.
Perfect stuff. So we're just going to move these over here because you get a go as well. But just to mark where you start, we'll use the reverse cards to just swap the colours around. So you get that. Yep. You can stand where I am, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. So would you have said you had good intuition generally?
I would say so. Yes.
You have. You've had the thing where the phone rings and you know who's going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah. Whack them down however you think they need to go, and try not to overthink it, because if you know, overthinking is the enemy of everything, which is lucky for a simpleton like me. Awesome stuff. So how do we think that we did? You've literally just finished dealing these. Yep. You was thinking that these were red. That is ridiculous, isn't it? Look at that. Is it every single one? Not one miss. And you thought that these cards would be black.
Yes.
Because the top half were yours. Those are all black. That's crazy. And let's see if you did just as well here. Not one out of place. That is out of this world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks. Thank you very much, sir.